Hello everyone, my name is Malia Tiozzo and I'm the Data Analysis and Visualization Librarian here at UNB Libraries. Today we're going to build from our first 3 videos on Power BI and explore how to gain additional insights from our Power BI report by using slicers. If you haven't listened to the previous videos, it would be a good idea to do so in order to be able to follow along without any added friction. You'll recall that we were able to ingest 3 Excel tables in Power BI, our fact table, test scores, and 2-dimension tables, student profile, and subject category, as well as refine the data and link our data tables to establish relationships between them. From there, we created a series of visual elements for our report. Just my regular disclaimer, these data tables are fictional, they were created using randomly generated numbers, and don't represent anything based in reality. They are simply used for explanatory purposes. Okay, today we're going to be talking about slicers. Slicers are a nice clean way to filter your data. There are ways to filter your data without slicers, which include using the filters pane or doing it directly on an individual visualization, but I prefer slicers because it makes the filtering explicit for the user. To create a slicer, you simply need to click on the slicer icon in the build pane. So let's create a bit of space in our report. Let's go to our map here, and let's put the width 350. Now that we have nothing selected, let's click on the slicer icon, which is this one right here, slicer. Let's make our first slicer use the city data series. So let's use a city field. We just drag it into the slicer here. Great, increase it a little bit to include all the data. Perfect. Now, if we were to click on Fredericton, for example, every card and visuals adapt to the slicer. You can press the control button to do multiple selections. So Fredericton and Woodstock, for example. And you get the associated data for those 2 cities. You can click on the original selection to return to a non-slice view of the data. So if we were to select St. John, for example, we can see that there are 272 students that have a median score of 75. And below there are the median scores by subject and exam month specifically for St. John. I'll just re-click St. John to return to the entire data view. Just like our visualizations format, we can format this slicer. So in the format pane, let's make the width 175. We don't need all that real estate for one slicer. Size is right here, perfect. 175 width. Great, let's minimize that. Let's remove the slicer header and let's include a slicer title. Expand the title and let's write city slicer. Let's go back to size and style. And let's change the background color to a light blue. Great. Okay, let's create another slicer. It's the same process. We have some space available in our report, so let's press the slicer icon again. This time, let's select the gender data series. So we'll take the gender data series here, and we could put it in the field. Notice that the gender is classified as a binary, which is obviously not representative of how all members of the population identify. Since we're going to want all our slicers to have the same look and feel, let's use the format painter to copy the format from our first slicer and transfer it to our second slicer. So let's click on our first slicer, which is the source that we want, and let's have the second slicer receive that format. We can see that a title has been added, the slicer header has been removed, and the background color has changed. So let's enter our new title. Let's go to the title category, put in gender slicer. Great. Oh, we're at Bathurst. Because we only have 2 elements in our slicer, let's change the look of the slicer a bit. Let's go to slicer settings. And in the options, there's a style section here. Instead of vertical list, let's make it tile. Now let's shrink this height to 105. And this creates the illusion of buttons. So when I click on female, I get all the information about the female cohort in a data set. I can use multiple slicers so I can see the data point pertaining to males, for example, in Bathurst, and I get information specific for that cohort. All right, let's remove all the slicers. Now let's create another slicer. Let's copy the gender slicer and paste it. Take this, Control C, Control V, let's drag it down here. The nice thing about this is that the formatting comes with, so we don't have to worry about recreating the wheel. Okay, when we click on it, we get the gender data series in the field. Let's remove that. And let's put the category section in here instead. Let's not forget to change the title as well. So let's call this category slicer. Now we could segment our filter by humanities or STEM categories. So we can see that overall, the sample performed better in the STEM subjects than the humanities subjects. And if we want to see how that related to Miramichi, for example, we could see how it relates to them in the humanities and the STEM. They perform significantly better in the STEM than in the humanities. All right, let's finish off by creating one last slicer. Let's copy and paste a category slicer. And let's remove the category field and put in the grades field from the student profile table. Let's change the title, grade slicer. Almost all of these visuals are clickable and all of them are interactive. So if I wanted to know how the Fredericton student population that is male and in junior levels of high school fared in the humanities subjects, I could find that out in a few clicks. So Fredericton, males, humanities, and in the junior levels, so both 9th and 10th grade. So overall, this data set shows that they performed, all 51 of them, on average, at a median score of 73, which is 2 points lower than their counterparts in the province, and 3 points lower than the general average. We can also see that French is a laggard in this population and that median scores varied significantly depending on exam months. All interesting insights that should lead to more questions being posed. Okay, that's a good spot to stop for now. We've looked at how to gain additional insights from our Power BI reports by using slicers. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video where we will explore how to save our Power BI report and publish it so that we can share it with our audience. Bye for now.